What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And today I am joined by my good friend Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report. And Michael, we have some not so good news to talk about. We were recording this after the Kansas City Chiefs 19-17 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football to lock up the AFC West for the 9th year in a row. And while that is a good thing that the Kansas City Chiefs won, we also got the highly anticipated debut of new Chiefs left tackle DJ Humphries, but it didn't last very long as DJ Humphries exited the game late with an obvious hamstring injury, in which forced the Chiefs to replace him with Wanya Morris once again. We're going to tie this into his performance as well, but biggest news first, Michael. DJ Humphries looks to have a hamstring injury. He had to be helped off the field. The game was stopped in order to check on him. This isn't good. It seems like DJ Humphries came in here and immediately picked up the Kansas City Chiefs negative injury aura that seems to be going around this year. And this is not ideal because the Kansas City Chiefs brought him in hoping that he would fix the left tackle woes. And now he's seemingly out for the foreseeable future. I'm sure we'll get a more firm update from Andy Reid later this week, but I have to imagine a hamstring injury for a big guy like DJ Humphries would hinder his performance enough that that's at least a couple-week injury.
When you know someone who has seen leg injuries happen before and kind of experiencing something along those lines, listen, I'm not anywhere near as athletic as DJ Humphries. I don't want to act like I know what he's going through, but he's coming off of a torn ACL. He's rehabbing that, really coming back from that injury with no training camp, with no long-term practice. He had a week of practice, Josh, and he is starting at left tackle, protecting the best quarterback in football. And so I almost wonder if the hamstring got hurt because he was overcompensating for maybe his knee being a little sore. Who knows? But listen, he's coming back from an injury that is very hard to come back from, and he's a bit rusty. And you kind of saw it in the way that he was playing, but I think that's to be expected. And I think that we are all under the mindset that the worst of DJ Humphries is still better than maybe the worst of Kingsley Suamataia.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we'll get into his performance as well. But I did have a question for you. Let's just say that he's out for a week or two with the hamstring. How worried are you?
Playing the Browns. Oh, Myles Garrett, man. Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about him. Man, I was going to say, oh, Browns aren't very good. We should be. No, Myles Garrett is legit. Listen, I mean, this is trial by fire for Wanya Morris. He's going to get another shot at redemption. He did play better when he came in for DJ Humphries when he exited the game. But I, on a scale from 1 to 10, I still think it's probably around a 6 or a 7. You can't be super confident that Wanya Morris is just going to make leaps and bounds improvement just over a week span. So I think that concern level is still there. But, I mean, we kind of were talking about it off air. I mean, Andy Reid didn't even talk about DJ Humphries' injury after the game. So how serious is this injury, you know?
Well, and he did talk about him. He had a quote, and this is from Charles Goldman, who covered Andy Reid's press conference after the game, talking about his performance. Initially, it was fast for him. Then he settled down in the second half, which I figured would happen. He did a nice job. But no mention of the injury. Now, here's where it gets a little bit worrisome for me and why I am concerned. So, first of all, there's the opponents that the Chiefs have coming up. Because not only do you have Myles Garrett next week, if he's out for multiple weeks, you have the Texans with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, okay? That's going to be another rough matchup for this Chiefs offensive line.
Get to the bad one, Josh.
TJ Watt, he's coming up too. And then the Broncos, let's not discount them either. Nick Bonito, he's been having a monster year, and he tore them up last time they played. But no, here's where I get really worried, Michael. Let's say he's out for a couple weeks. Okay, not that big of a deal on the surface. However, that only gives you a couple weeks left in the regular season for him to actually get worked into the offense and get in game shape. And then it's the playoffs. What are you going to, how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. And, we were talking in our post-game show how, man, why is Mahomes dropping back 15, 20 steps? Maybe it's because that pressure on the left side, DJ Humphries is still getting used to blocking for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
His drop back is different than every other quarterback in the NFL. It's going to take that learning period, that adjustment. But if he doesn't have the games to get those reps in, you can't simulate that in practice. Our defensive ends are not that good to give him that much of a workout. So let's not act like he's going to get the experience of playing one of the best edge rushers in the game, in practice. He's not going to get that. And so you kind of need these games towards the end of the season for him to get those reps. And so I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and going over his performance a little bit. So and this is from Justin Churchill at Churchill A to Z on Twitter. According to NGS, Chiefs DJ Humphries allowed 8 pressures on 40 pass blocking snaps in Week 14 against the Los Angeles Chargers, the second most pressures and the second highest pressure rate allowed by a Chiefs left tackle in a game this season. Now, we knew there was going to be some rust to knock off, and that was part of it. But then to your point, he's still learning how to play with Patrick Mahomes. But that's why if he is injured, even for a couple of weeks, my worry scale is I'm on like 7 or an 8 because you have to get him worked in before the playoffs. And if you don't get him worked in before the playoffs, that almost kind of forces you to go with Wanya Morris, I feel like, for the rest of the year.
And what's the guarantee that he stays healthy, Josh? I mean, we're dealing with so many injuries that you can't really count on one guy being the starter for the rest of the season. I feel like the Chiefs are going to be in this position where it is a, game time decision who their starting left tackle is. And that's a concerning thing. And really Patrick Mahomes is the loser in this situation. And so hopefully they can find a way to, keep guys healthy. Maybe Wanya Morris does take that next step and he is better. But right now it just seems like they're on a very game-by-game basis on who's going to be their starting left tackle, which is just not a good thing for this team.
Yeah, it's rough right now. It seems like the Chiefs can't go more than a game or two without someone very important getting hurt, and DJ Humphries is just the latest on a list of guys that the Chiefs have seen go down this year. Let's hope, Michael, though, that it's not that serious and that maybe he can return to action again next week because those reps are going to be important. He has to knock more of the rust off. He has to get in game shape, and you can't do that if you're not on the field.
Nope. And I mean, they just won the AFC West for the 9th consecutive year. That's great. But we still have a goal. We still have to go out there and get the number 1 seed, get that playoff bye so they can come back. And so I think the best way to make that, goal achievable is by having DJ Humphries play left tackle. And so he's going to need those reps. The hope is that maybe this hamstring injury is just something that kept him out of this game. Maybe it's just so insignificant that, he's going to play next game and he's going to start against the Texans. No, it's not Texans. Is it
Browns.
The Texans? The Browns. But I feel like maybe that's what they did. But, I mean, who knows, Josh? I mean, the way the Chiefs have been with injuries, there's just no predictability to it.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. We hope that DJ Humphries is okay. The Chiefs are going to need him back. They're going to need that depth. Even if he doesn't start next game, even if it's Wanya Morris, you got to have him as an option there. I feel like worst case scenario. So I think our thoughts are pretty clear, Michael. Do you have any other closing thoughts before we wrap it up, though?
No, I feel like hopefully the injury is not super serious and that it's just a small tweak of that hamstring. But, when you have someone so big, so strong and just coming off of an injury, you don't want to bank on his health being a consistent thing every week. So hopefully this taught us that whether it's Wanya Morris, whether it is DJ Humphries, that they're going to have to find a guy that can be consistent, and step up with other guys getting hurt.
For sure. Couldn't agree more. So we were going to go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. Those are our thoughts on the latest with DJ Humphries and also how he performed in his first week with the Kansas City Chiefs. But make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. You can check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more. But Michael, real quick, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. That's kind of the one-stop shop for everything that I do. On all the different social media platforms. You can find those on the YouTube channel at KC Sports Report. But Josh and I have been making content, weekly at this point. We're going to try to ramp that up. And the best way you guys can support both of us is by liking this video and, obviously subscribing, but definitely like it and share it so more Chiefs fans can find it.
There you guys have it, and it will be in the description as always. Make sure you go ahead and check out Michael's stuff. Subscribe to him. He just hit 10,000 subscribers, a massive milestone. I forgot to personally congratulate you about that, though, Michael. So congrats on 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully it takes away a little bit of the sting from Kansas basketball losing to the Missouri Tigers.
You have to compliment and stab at the same time. There's just not, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. So MIZ, everyone. I mean, go Chiefs.
Too far.
I meant go Chiefs, and we'll see you in the next one.